So I told her, look, if you cut my hair like that,
every day.
I swear to God, I'm going to take that pair of scissors and I'm going to shove it up your twat. Oh, hey, we're back on the air.
Hi, spring break's over, everybody.
All right, so here we go with segment 3, the cave.
You were not aware of this? Your posterior better contact someone at once.
Gunner, please.
No, that's the sound.
Actually, he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally he doesn't. So today we're playing an oldie but a goldie. I think that's how that works. We're going to play What's the Word? I am going to read, rather, a sentence. I've already written them. And our esteemed panelists will finish that sentence with their take.
I'm doing riveting!
You know what? Let's just do this. Omega BR, HBK being involved in Punk's feud with the Authority is going
to be a little convoluted, whatever.
okay. Desperado.
Yeah. Oh, the HBK thing.
Yes.
I have no idea where this is going, but if I had to say something, I would say it's going to lead to maybe a WrestleMania match. I mean, I think everybody thought it was going to be Bryan versus HBK, but it looks like now they're setting up for Punk versus HBK, which I wouldn't mind.
I'm pretty sure he has been very adamant about never wrestling again because he doesn't want to be like Ric Flair. Or that's what he said anyways. He didn't specifically say Ric Flair, but it's obvious who he was talking about. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, I won't retire and then go back on it like some other people do. Gunner.
From the Harley races.
Gunner, HBK involving himself in Punk's feud with the Authority is going
nowhere. This will be over before our Royal Rumble.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Net Jester.
Oh, thank you very much. HBK's involving himself with Punk's feud with the Authority is simply going to be something that's throwaway. Sad, but true.
Yeah, that's unfortunately probably the case.
Alrighty, Omega BR. The title is being unified now. What?
Excuse me, in before DX versus CM Punk and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
I know. All of my
HBK never gets tagged in. The entire match is just Punk and Bryan squashing Triple H for 15 minutes.
Oh, I'd pay to see that at WrestleMania.
I would rather it would be Bryan and Triple H get in the ring and remember 18 seconds? Half that.
Oh, so about as long as you spend in bed? Got it.
Oh! Well, it wouldn't be that fast if your mom wasn't so good. Oh!
All right, gentlemen, let's move on.
My mom's dead.
Oh. Ouch.
And that's why she doesn't make much noise.
Oh!
Alright, so, Omega BR, the titles being unified now means
not a whole lot in terms of people who would have held the World Heavyweight title meaning anything. Because, your Del Rios and your Sheamuses and your, filling time on SmackDown, basically.
I have to say, you're pretty decisive tonight, Omega. it's a nice change of pace. I'm going to say the titles being unified now means dick. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I know I've been one of the people that's been like, oh, unify the titles. But they're not really unified, so it doesn't mean a friggin' thing. They could unify it. They could say, okay, well, now we just use the WWE title, and the big gold belt is going into the Hall of Fame that we're building in, what was it, Orlando, Florida?
Orlando would be the place, yes.
Yeah, so they just stick it there and they go, that's what used to be the World Heavyweight Championship, and now we just have the one belt, and it is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and that is that. This is our title. And then maybe the IC and the US titles could mean something. But that's not going to happen, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's funny because that title actually does technically say WWE World Heavyweight Championship on it, because the logo's at the top.
Huh. Alright, Desperado.
The titles being unified now means that Randy Orton for the next few months is going to be very uncomfortable carrying around all that gold in the airport.
Oh, he beat me to it.
Going through the TSA checkpoint with those probably sucks. Alright, Gunner.
The unification now means that we're going to get a new t-shirt by John Cena that says the champ is here, but it's going to have both belts instead of just one or the other.
That would suck.
Never miss merchandising opportunities.
I think you're wrong. I think it'll still just have the one belt, and it'll say the champs are here. No, Jester.
Or the chumps, whichever. Maybe the chimps. The titles being unified now means that whoever holds the belts must now double the yearly supply of championship belt polish, or something like that.
Alrighty, let's see. Omega BR, if you could tell us, if DBD, that being Daniel Bryan Danielson, doesn't get a title shot for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, we're going to
assume that he will have some kind of high profile
If BD doesn't get a title shot, I'm going to go to Stamford, Connecticut myself, go to Vince McMahon's lawn, remove squat down, and start screaming the lyrics to Chris Benoit's theme song as I take a big shit right there on the lawn.
Okay. Well, you don't want to get poop on your cheeks. Gunner, if DBD doesn't get a title shot, we're going to
be very, very unhappy. I'm not surprised. Biggest favorite show, Total Divas. The lack of sex Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are having.
For reproductive purposes.
No, they only have sex. No, they only have sex for whatchamacallit. As long as or non-meat product.
Oh yes, as long as the condom is biodegradable.
which is weird because it used to be before Brian turned vegan, he would actually use whole pigs as condoms. Just stick his dick right through the god.
Let's
I like this
Net
show.
Jester. Desperado threw me off.
Yes, if Dick Butt does.
Fucking time. It is not Daniel Bryant. It is Daniel Bryan. There is no T at the end.
This is what I've got to put up with, Desperado.
I think you do it on purpose. I think you do it because you know that I'm going to get frustrated with you and want to strangle you with my belt while I stand on your back and like, just keep pulling tighter and tighter. And then I watch the light just leave your eyes, just fade slowly.
This is what I've got to put up with.
Oh my god.
So anyways, Daniel Bryan.
If I were being
what
any
about
more
him, Net
buried,
Jester?
I'd be in an Undertaker casket match.
What?
Let's move on.
All right, last
Yeah,
one.
if you would.
Oh, second to last one. Mega BR. AJ Lee is eventually going to lose the Divas Championship to
Nikki and or Brie Bella.
Oh God, I knew, and I know you're right, but Desperado, don't tell me the truth. Tell me what I want to hear.
AJ Lee is going to lose the Divas Championship to the biggest diva in the company, Jack Swagger.
Nice.
I can live with that. Gunner.
Say the question again.
AJ Lee, and you would know this if you weren't playing Team Fortress, is going to lose the Divas Championship to
Tamina, obviously, because it's gonna be a face turn for Tamina, and then she'll go over at WrestleMania with the Snuka Splash.
Shades of her father, Jimmy. I swear to God, I didn't kill her Snuka.
That'd be an amazing moment.
Alright, and Net Jester.
AJ's going to eventually lose the Divas Championship to Amazing Kong. Just saying.
Yes! Yes!
Yes. I would be more than okay with that. I don't think she's ever going to come back, though. I wish she would. Amazing Kong. I know you don't listen to this, but maybe some way it'll find its way to you, and you can hear my voice. And you can hear me say, "We love you. Please come back." Alright, so finally on the list here we have these selfies. Jesus fuck. These selfies during Raw last night were
hate that word.
absolutely Omega BR.
Too much. You know, I don't mind, semicolon, I don't mind the repertoire the announcers tend to have. You know, they have a little fun here and there, you know, shades of NXT 3, but it's a shame it has to happen. You know, stuff like that is a little too much. You know, even though it was McMahon approved. And it's a shame it had to happen during a tag match, considering the tag division is perhaps one of their most interesting facets. Not to mention a tag match that the crowd was very much into, as they were loudly chanting for Goldust to get the tag just a minute later.
And Desperado. Also, I would like to note that nobody gets any points for number 3. I almost forgot. Nobody gets points for number 3 because the only correct answers were riot and complain on the internet. Riot and complain on the internet. So, Desperado, the selfies during Raw last night were absolutely
Disrespectful! respectful the wrestlers who practice their craft in that ring. Vince McMahon mocks God. He mocks God and makes it with the etc. etc.
I wish God would put Vince in a headlock or something.
Well, he tried to once, but he's poreal, so it didn't work.
That feeling when they find Vince McMahon dying of a brain aneurysm, and then I really would have put a headlock on him.
There we go.
All right, Gunner.
Also, I would also use the word Obama-rific to describe the selfie.
Oh yeah, you know who they were trying to poke.
Who are they trying to poke?
Obama.
Why?
Because during Mandela's funeral, or well, not the funeral, but the big world leaders coming together gathering, he was hanging out with the babe that runs some Nordic country,
Denmark,
taking selfies with her. Oh, Denmark. There you go. And to be fair, she is fucking hot. She is hot.
Prime Minister of Denmark is hot.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, President of the United States or not, he had to get that spank bank material.
Oh. But it's not like his own wife doesn't,
let's move along.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm hungry.
Yes, I need some frozen confections.
Yeah, we're on Gunner right now.
No, we're skipping that. Gunner's done.
Gunner's done. I think we're all done.
We're done.
I think I'm hungry.
So, you know where I want to go, Gunner?
Do you want to go to Little Caesars? You can get a $5 pizza that tastes like crap.
I'm going to eat Little Caesars, and then I'm going to vomit on you. Stop it. You know where I want to go.
All right, already. Give me my ice cream, Gunner. Let's go.
All right, let's go down the Dairy Queen drive-thru. All right, time for the Dairy Queen drive-thru. And our guest this week, Parado, why don't you read the ratings?
The ratings, first of all, for Impact, 1.02. And I would just like to comment, Jeff Hardy's promo during Impact absolutely terribly, started chanting his own name. SmackDown's rating was 1.94, and Raw's rating was a 2.95, and that is 4% up from last week.
Which is pretty good for Raw, considering lately.
Especially considering the fact that the ratings killer Randy Orton is currently holding the top title.
Correct. And with the birthdays this week, Net Jester.
So, are we reminding people to look out for Deadies?
Of course.
Wow, that's
Once again,
extremely disrespectful, Net Jester, calling them daddies.
He mocks God.
What would you call them?
The deceased?
All right, I'm appreciative deceased instead of gratefully dead. But moving right along, birthdays in place of thing.
Weed every day.
Yes, thank you very much. The 17th, Nick Dinsmore, otherwise known as Eugene. And also on the 17th, Kayoshi Tamura, I think.
I think it's Tamura.
Tamura, thank you very much.
Suit-style wrestler.
And on the 18th, none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin, Trish Stratus.
Deborah.
Exactly. And Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam.
Weed every day.
You missed Trish Stratus there.
No, I didn't. At least I don't think I did. But anyway, moving on the 20th, we have Grand Akuma, Blitz, Takashi Raiko, I hope, and Tarzan Boy Toscano. My thoughts exactly. On the 21st, we have Primo, or Eddie Colon, as he's also known. And then also on the 21st, we have Mike Pat. What the hell?
Who is that?
I have no idea. Anyway.
Sound it out, Net Jester.
All right, I'll do it. Hunt is fat.
Hunt is fat. Now, all together.
Mike Hunt is fat. And he's an actual wrestler.
Oh my God!
You whack-a-moles! All right, I'm moving on. On the 22nd, we have Luke Gallows, otherwise known as Festus, otherwise known as the Freakin' Deacon.
Wait, what day did you say this was? What day did you say this was?
On the 22nd of December.
22! Oh man!
Then we also have Mystico also. And finally, rounding out this birthdays, thank God, on the 23rd of December, we have Ari Cannon, otherwise known as the Anarchist, plus Juventud Guerrera, Jamie San, Jamie Noble, Ribbit, and finally, Kenji Muto, the Great Muta.
Yes.
I gotta dumb myself down!
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this weekend, wrestling history, circa 1938, where Cy Williams defeats Yvonne Robert for the Montreal World Heavyweight title in Montreal, Quebec, ending Robert's third reign. Jump. 1977, where in one of the most famous matches in Japanese wrestling history, Terry and Dory Funk Jr. defeated Butcher and the Sheik to win the first All-Japan Pro Wrestling Real World Tag League tournament at Sumo Hall in Tokyo. For years, the Real World Tag League final would be considered the biggest event of the year for All Japan, and the Funks had become hugely popular in the country, breaking the unwritten rule that American wrestlers were always the heels. The tag team tournament would go on to become the annual highlight and biggest money-making tour of All Japan's year. And in 1991, Blue Panther defeats Satanico in a tournament final to become the first CMLL World Middleweight title champion in Acapulco, Mexico. Panther would vacate the title 6 months later when he jumped to the rival AAA promotion. Yeah, that was This Week in Wrestling.
Sorry.
Satanico has got to be the most death metal name I have ever heard.
And time for some happy trails. Happy trails to President Obama, who got ribbed on Raw when announcers took a selfie in the middle of a match, was meant as a jab, with him doing the same at Nelson Mandela's funeral with other world leaders, whether anybody realized it or not.
And no one did.
There was one other jab they took. They mentioned the sign language interpreter, who was not a sign language interpreter at all. He was just some random guy that happens to have periods of long psychosis. Not the Mexican wrestler, the mental disease.
I mean, I had psychosis as well to mow my lawn.
The Mexican wrestler.
To mow my lawn.
That's right.
And also happy trails to Mr. Bella. No, it's not. It's the Mexican rules. Oh, God. Do you not remember the Mexican rules?
Yes, unfortunately.
And to Mr. Bella, who called Maria Kanellis, according to her, to tell her to quit saying mean things to his daughters, and ended up getting yelled at Maria's own father.
Oh my God, I would love to hear that conversation.
I want to hear that conversation. That has to exist somewhere as a real thing. Alright guys, what to watch this week in wrestling? We'll start with Ned Jester.
Alright, haven't given this much thought. One of the better matches was, of course, the tag team match. So, regardless of the Vince and the three idiots at ringside shitting on it with that selfies little trick, watch that match again because it was one of the better things of Raw last night.
Alright, and Yankum.
Gotta be Orton and Bryan. In my opinion, and the opinion of my sister, the best match they have had so far with each other. It was fantastic. The ending was kind of shit, but the match itself was fantastic.
Desperado?
I'm going to keep the road less traveled here and say the Feast or Fire match from Impact just because it was hilarious. Curry Man was great in it, even though he was barely in it. Ethan Carter III is hilarious. It was just very funny, and the other two great matches from this week were already mentioned. So there you go.
I actually saw that, and it was good. I guess this week I'm actually going to tune in to Impact to see who got what case, if that hasn't already happened.
I hope
Curry Man was
fire
in
case.
Feast or Famine. I gotta watch that.
Okay, and Omega, which we'll watch this week in wrestling.
I think in honor of one of his rare losses, and the fact that New Year's is just a couple weeks away, I think you should go back and watch the New Year's Day edition of Monday Night Raw 2007, where John Cena would lose to Mr. Kevin Federline.
Oh, ouch.
All right. I'm going to do one better. I'm going to say watch New Year's Revolution 2006. The six-way Elimination Chamber match with Chris Masters, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, Cena, Jericho, and somebody else. I forgot who.
Was Shelton Benjamin really in that match?
I think he was.
I know Carlito and Chris Masters were in that match. They were like, man, that was a weird match.
There's no stopping me. Oh!
Well, that was a great match only for the
like 10 out
ending,
of 10.
which is exactly what I'm telling you to watch, which was the first cash-in of Money in the Bank, which was Edge in Money in the Bank, which quite honestly was one of the best moments ever in wrestling.
I agree, that was awesome.
So if you want to watch Cena lose again, watch that!
Oh yeah, totally.
Alright guys, thank you very much for listening. This has been the end of Ooh Get Serious number 101. We're actually done for the year, considering that Tuesday nights are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, respectively. We won't be coming to you live on Tuesday Eve until the new year, but we are going to have a special edition of Ooh Get Serious. We're going to do Mystery Science Theater 3000 over the Miz Christmas movie that aired recently on ABC Family. So if you'd like you should check that out later on, and with this WooTube channel coming up, we're going to hopefully get really involved in that and potentially start doing some more big stuff. So stay tuned with that. You can check us out at smarksnark.com. Smarksnark.com will bring you to our Spreaker page, which has all of our old episodes on it. 100 of them, I think. It should, at least, potentially.
It can't.
It will at some point.
Yeah, well, they'll be on our
you can search
YouTube
for them.
channel.
They'll be up.
YouTube.com/SmarkSnark. And I'm trying to files up to where you guys can go crazy and download that stuff. And even the old RAW panels, I've still got all of those WAV and MP3 files. I just don't have any way to organize them for you guys to not care and not download them. Don't, they're bad. But everything from episode 52 on, fucking fantastic.
Oh, you have to put those old ones on YouTube. You just have to.
Alright, and let's see here. So we also have... I'm not even going to mention the Facebook. The Facebook.com/SmarkSnark. I'm not doing anything with it. And we have Twitter.com/SmarkSnark, where Yankum and I usually yank them. Tweets during pay-per-views and live Raws. You can check that out at Twitter.com/SmarkSnark. And if you really want to get a hold of us, that would be one of the good ways to do it. The other way would be to contact our email, which would be smarksnark@gmail.com. Thanks everybody for listening, and just remember, take care and spike your hair.
Jeff Hardy fucking sucks.
Woo woo woo.
You know it.
Good night.
Hey
John Morrison, this is Melina. I know that you've seen me getting pretty obscene with all the boys in the back and all your bros. Baby, you knows I ain't no host, that's just how it goes. So you need to know what I've been doing, you need to know who I've been screwing. So I wrote you a song, I hope it isn't wrong. You know it's kinda gross, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I slept with Batista. We had a 3-way with a stranger because he did not want to walk alone inside my pit of danger. Yeah, he really was an animal, and I was in his jaws. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he's got an infinite rematch clause. Yeah, I slept with John Cena, and he made me turn out the light. I slept with Rey Mysterio, and we 619. I slept with Undertaker, it made me call him Psycho Sid. But I did not sleep with CM Punk, just kidding, of course I did. Yeah, also slept with Mike Knox. Did you know that he has 2 cocks? One on his body and one on his beard. It was pretty weird, yeah. I used to do Hulk Hogan, but then he crossed the line, and I didn't win sync out once, but then he dropped me on my spine. I slept with Alex Riley, and then I held him while he sobbed, and I hooked up with Triple H, so you know I was doing the job. Yeah, I also slept with Mike Knox. Did you know that he had 2 cocks? One on his body and one on his beard. It was pretty weird, but I went with it. Don't cry, Johnny. Don't cry. I never meant to make you feel so bad. I still love you, kinda. Just let me know. Hey, that's my lunch. Give it back. Don't eat it.